Okay, so this is going to be the first book talk video I have that actually has a script now that I got my laptop back. And I pretty much had to scrap everything I planned this year since I got my unit called in. And what better way to pass the time during this pandemic in between hospital shifts than a book where the basic premise is, what if virus, but vampires? And that is The Strain, technically written by Chuck Hogan, even though Guillermo del Toro's name is the one not taped over my library edition. And I wasn't lying when I said this book is What If Virus But Vampires. It's kind of the book's hook that got me interested in it. Now, a vampire virus is not a new premise, but what I like about this book is that it sticks with that idea all the way through, treating the spread and everything like a viral outbreak, to the point that I wouldn't even call this a horror novel. I mean, there are some horror moments, no doubt, but the way that Hogan wrote this, it feels more like one of those conspiracy thriller paperback novels from the 90s, if that makes any sense, like James Patterson going through a Dean Koontz phase. Almost 600 pages long, but it's a breeze to go through. The sentences are short and simple, and Hogan writes in a style that I didn't think I would miss. Like, he would explain a scene and try to add some weight in there, like the kind of over dramatic, over the top way, like have a recently divorced husband bond with his son during a custody battle, and Hogan would explain that they aren't just fighting for quality time, but fighting for their very souls. That cringe goes down like this coffee. Bitter, but I can't stop drinking it. It gets better, because then Hogan will write using what I would call colorful choice in metaphors and similes for certain scenes, like explaining the air traffic control operator feels like a doctor delivering babies out of a womb when he guides pilots to land, or describe the chill that you get up your spine when you're scared as a reverse orgasm. Don't know what a reverse orgasm is. Don't sound good though. It did get kind of annoying though at times, like when a female character is undressing out of a hazmat suit, which is one of the least sexual things ever, and her body is described in very vivid voyeuristic detail as she's undressing. No other character is described in this way, and some don't get described at all. And I think that was the book's main fault, is that it really could have gone one more time around with an editor. Like, at the halfway point through the book, we get like 2 chapters long worth of flashback to one character's life in a Nazi concentration camp. Then immediately the next page, we're back to present day, and the narrator has to mention that this character was in a Nazi concentration camp. Despite the hiccups, I had fun with this one. It could have been shorter, and it feels very much like a first draft for what would become the TV show, but I think it stands pretty good on its own and worth a read. Until then, guys, these types of masks, they don't work very well unless you practice social distancing. And remember to wash your hands and use hand sanitizer. Now I gotta go find a new book to read.